Hi, everyone. This is Steve Richards, one of the pastors at Messiah Church in Plymouth, Minnesota. And I'm glad you joined me this morning. Each week, I try to offer some message of hope in the midst of the circumstances we face in our lives. And today, I'd like to tell you about our vacation earlier in the month. Our original plan for vacation had to be changed as a result of the coronavirus, but I found a place where we could stay on the North Shore for a week. And after I made those arrangements, I told my wife about it, and she agreed to come. Though she said she has a consulting business, and she has some clients that she needed to connect with through the week, as well as teach an online class. And I assured her that we would be able to find the internet that she would need. So on a Monday, we drove to the North Shore, and almost immediately it became clear that the internet was not going to work. She reminded me that she needed that internet access every day, not just to teach her online class, but to be able to connect with her clients. And I hadn't really heard that. See, I was more focused on what I wanted, that I didn't really listen to what she was saying. So we got back in the car and we drove home. Well, the next morning I got up, and since we had this place for the week on the North Shore, I drove back to the North Shore. But by Friday, I was feeling guilty that here I was on the North Shore and she was at home, and this was supposed to be a vacation that we spent together. So I got back in the car and I drove home and I picked her up, and we returned for the weekend. And then by Sunday, we needed to leave, and so we drove home. It was not the vacation that I had anticipated. I drove 1,500 miles, 3 round trips to the North Shore. Each of those trips took about 7 to 8 hours. And I'll admit that this was not the first time in our 38 years of marriage that I hadn't really been listening. 10 times in the New Testament, we find Jesus saying to his followers, "Let those who have ears hear." In other words, he was saying to me, are you listening to me? Are you really listening to me? And I think his followers were kind of listening. They knew that Jesus was speaking, but they tended to focus more on what they wanted than what Jesus was actually saying. And I think that's where we often are. We may politely give the impression that we're listening, a nod of the head, when in reality we are thinking about what we want to say, or we already know what we want, so listening isn't really a priority for us. And consequently, we end up minimizing the person who is speaking to us. See, the focus is on me. It's on us. So I looked up the steps to effective listening, and I'm not going to go through all of the steps. I'll just mention the ones that tend to be a challenge for me. Maybe they're a challenge for you. First is maintain eye contact. It's a great way to let somebody know that you're actually listening to them. Maintain eye contact. And 2, keep an open mind. Because we're listening, okay? Keep an open mind. And 3, don't interrupt, because we're listening. And 4, ask questions only for clarification, because we're listening. And 5, try to feel what the speaker is feeling. I mean, that's only possible if I let go of what I'm thinking and I try to walk in someone else's shoes. See, to be with someone who truly listens is an amazing experience. And it's what we expect God to do for us. And it's what God expects us to do for each other. Now, I didn't have the vacation that I wanted, and neither did Amanda. But what will redeem the experience is if I use it, not just for this message, but if I use it to bring about a better way and build a better relationship. Some of the words of James, the brother of Jesus. God, help me to be quick to listen and slow to speak. After all, there's a reason God gave us 2 ears and just 1 mouth. And if you made it all the way to this point, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. And try to listen to somebody this week. Truly listen to somebody. Join me next week. God bless.